All right, great. Thank you, members. And so this is the the committee members need to nominate someone, and someone second nomination for chair of the committee.
I, Blaine Scalhidi, nominate Ed Gronke as chair of the 2020-2021 Clackamas County Development Agency Budget Committee.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we nominate Ed Gronke as chair of the development. I gotta look of the Clackamas County Development Agency. Any further discussion? Any other nominations? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, in the final vote, we're going to poll you. Just want to let you know. So, Ed, it's yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's very unusual meeting you all under the circumstances, but let's go ahead. At this point, I will entertain a nomination for vice chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Fred Charlton. I nominate Chris Hartson as vice chair of the Development Agency Budget Committee for 2020-21 budget.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? If not, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We'll now entertain a nomination for secretary of the committee.
I, Chris Hartson, nominate Blaine Scalhidi as secretary of the Development Agency Budget Committee for the 2020-2021 budget.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, let's go ahead with the presentation of the budget message. Dave Queener, I think it's yours.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. Cancel. So today we're going to be going through our budget, obviously for the development agency, and our and I'm not seeing on my end the PowerPoint. So does that need to be?
I can come in here for a second. Lori Phillips, are you going to share your screen? Is that who's doing it?
I can certainly do it. This is Elizabeth Comfort. Let me pull it up here. Well,
Thank you. My apologies for that.
can you all see the screen? Is that showing?
Yes.
Mhm.
Great. All right, sorry here. So our mission statement, as you see there, this is our overarching mission for the entire development agency. And although each one of our districts does have specific missions pertaining to those districts, but essentially our role and goal for the agency is to provide the infrastructure and programs that are necessary to provide those development opportunities and programs for all users within those districts, not just residents, but visitors and businesses and whatnot throughout the area. Our agency is housed within the transportation development. We're considered a targeted improvement area, but essentially we are housed within the transportation development department. Our overall requested budget for this fiscal year is $70,097,874. That's a slight increase over previous year's budget. With this slide, I have to apologize here that we have one error here. The $32,108,621 is the accurate number, but that actually is our budgeted amount for the North Clackamas revitalization area. The Clackamas industrial area has the $6,380,677. So I apologize for that misprint there. Oops. So for our revenue, the only district that we are still collecting taxes, property taxes on, and that is the North Clackamas revitalization area, which represents in the revenue section there 5%. The other revenue that you see there, 25%, has to do with a planned bond issuance that we will be having this coming year, land sales, and also some SDC funds that are coming in for projects as well. Important to point out that we have no county funds that are budgeted for the development agency. On the expenditure side, we have our debt service, we have a current bond in place for the North Clackamas revitalization area, as well as with the new issuance, we'll have some additional bond debt service payments there. Capital outlay of 43%. We always try to budget a majority of our funds towards capital expenditures throughout all three districts. We have a total of 4 full-time employees budgeted for this year. One position is currently vacant. It's also, we have approximately a half of a full-time employee that we bill out to other divisions for services that we provide for those divisions, different funding streams, and those get reimbursed back to the agency. Couple of our key performance measures, as I've mentioned, our primary goal always is to put as much money on the ground in projects. So we consistently meet or exceed our target of 85% of our budgeted expenses going directly toward capitally related construction. And then we also have some programs. These are all within the North Clackamas revitalization area. One of those is funds that we put towards loans and grants for homeowners to do necessary improvements to their homes to make them safe and energy efficient places to live.
Capacity and sufficient personal protective equipment. Next slide, please.
Some of our major accomplishments of the previous budget year, we began construction finally of our Clackamas Regional Center Mobility Improvement Project. That's a $23.8 million project that is greatly going to enhance all modes of travel on Sunnyside Road and Harmony Road between Fuller on the west side up to 101st on the east side. It also includes widening of the Sunnyside overpass at I-205. So that project is underway, and I'm sure you've seen some of that work being done. The Clackamas industrial area, we completed work on the terminus of Capps Road. This greatly enhanced our the ability for all the businesses down in that area to access much more efficiently and safely through the end of Capps Road. We've also began design on 2 road improvement projects in the NCRA. One is the Fuller Station area. That design is nearly complete and we'll begin construction on that fiscal year. And the Linwood Avenue, this is from Monroe up to Johnson Creek, another main thoroughfare through that area that this project will greatly enhance all modes of travel for that area. So our planned activities for 2021, again, the Clackamas Regional Center, that project will finish up in 2021 towards the tail end of the fiscal year. We will also be constructing some drainage improvements on Pheasant Court. There's some drainage issues over there that negatively impacted the existing businesses and whatnot. So we're working with those businesses to find out what we can do to better handle the drainage that's going on over there without creating any more issues that they currently experience. North Clackamas revitalization area, as I mentioned, we're planning on going out for a bond of $12 million for that district this next year. We have all of these projects gearing up, and these funds will be spent on the construction and design of the projects. As I mentioned before, Fuller Road Station area will be constructed this next fiscal year, and we will begin construction on Linwood Avenue. We also are continuing design on Monroe. This is from approximately 60th Avenue out to Fuller Road, getting those improvements going on design. With that, I will turn it over to any questions that anybody might have of me.
We have Commissioner Humberston. Commissioner Humberston?
Right, Ken.
Can you?
Me and that microphone. On the page CTC 3, had two questions there. One is under other financing sources. You have an increase of 173.91%, total amount of about $2 million. I was curious as to where those funding sources are coming from, what they are.
On CTC 3,
under your beginning balance,
sure.
Operating revenue section, other financing sources, 173.91% increase in other financing sources. I was curious as to what those other financing sources are.
Bear with me here.
Sure.
Hello, property.
Yeah, so that is other. So we do have our revenue. So we have within that district, we do have revenue coming from rentals. We also do have property sales in that district as well. We're anticipating 3.15 million for property sales on closing on 2 properties as well.
Okay, that answers my question there. Going down to indirect costs.
Sure.
Under operating expenditures, it's not a lot of money, but you have a $30,000 increase, which is a 229% increase. Curious as to what those indirect costs increases are.
Okay, so with the indirect costs, those increases are reflected with additional our administrative costs from our administrations of Department of Transportation and Development through our administrator, and other administrative costs are now allocated through those indirect costs. And that's why that increase has come up this year. So they're now being allocated through that.
It's just reporting it in a different section?
Correct. And it's a percentage of the time that they spend on directly on development agency work. So that's what it's based on. I believe it's a 20% allocation of time directly towards development agency matters.
And then on page CIA-11,
okay.
In the 3.5 years that we have been doing this, 4 years, I guess now, I had never heard of what's called the North Bank Plan. What is the North Bank Plan?
Property acquisitions.
Yes, and that is, we have been acquiring property down in that area of the river, on the north side of the river, on a willing buyer, willing seller basis. So we've been acquiring those properties. In the event we can assemble all of them together, we've got a couple of holdouts out there, but if we can assemble those, then we can use those for redevelopment purposes down there. Currently, they're all single-family residences down in
Okay, thank you.
that area. You bet.
Are there any other questions from members of the commission? If not, we will open this for a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to testify or make a comment, please be sure to give your name and address.
All right. Thank you, Chair Gronke. If any attendees would like to provide a comment specific to this public hearing with the development agency, you can do so now by utilizing the raise hand feature on Zoom. The raise hand button is on the Zoom bar. That's at the top or bottom, depending on your device. And we have no one on the phone. So give us a few seconds to do that and checking email. We did not get an email related to this particular public hearing. And again, last call for any comments from attendees for public comment. Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Blaylock. Does the committee have any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I think we will now have a motion for adoption of the budget. Will the clerk poll the committee and the commission, please?
After we hear a motion.
Sure. I, Blaine Scalhidi, move that the committee approve the 2020-2021 budget for the Clackamas County Development Agency as presented, inclusive of the Clackamas Town Center, the Clackamas Industrial Area, and the North Clackamas Revitalization Area.
Okay.
Second.
I'll get this right. This has only been my second year at it, Mr. Chair. Okay, now will the clerk please poll the committee and the commission?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Charlton?
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader?
Aye.
Mr. Curtis?
Aye.
Chair Bernard?
Aye.
Mr. Scalhady?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mr. Hartson?
Aye.
Commissioner Humberston?
Aye.
Commissioner Savas?
Aye.
Chair Gronke?
Aye.
Well, with that, the motion carries and we are done with you guys. And I want to first thank you all very much for your service to the community, to this agency, and to preparing this budget and moving it forward. And I thank you all very much and have a great day.
Thanks, commissioners.
Thank you.